started. Good morning. So this is a mat work Pilates class, not using any equipment. So if you're following at home, you will be able to just follow the exercises through. But if you are catching up online, just be aware that if you haven't done Pilates, this might not be the class for you. We do offer courses to instruct and how to get going. But if you're a regular Pilates participant, this is our mixed level mat work class, not using any equipment that you can join in with. And you guys are here live with me. So thank you for jumping in just before we get locked down for the second time this year. And let's start with our feet hip distance apart. So we've got the second and third toe lining up through to the knees and through to the hips. And then lengthen so the shoulders are in a straight line above. Okay, with your knees soft now, just tuck the tailbone under and back and just get some movement going on in that pelvis. And today's the day that the husband cleared out the car and took my mat. And this is my towel. This is my towel that I have on my leather seat in the summer when it's too hot, you know what I mean? Or slidey. So this is my towel for that. Okay, so tuck the tailbone under and back. And then just lifting the heel, try and keep your upper body level and just get some movement through the pelvis. Just be aware of any tension, any spots of difficulty you have around that area, and just park that, be aware. Then just circle the hips, so we're getting some mobility. And again, just be aware of anything in the lower back, niggly, awkward or tension points, and then other way around. Try and just limit this to the pelvis so you're not moving the upper body. And then coming back, so we are going to tuck the tailbone under and back and find our neutral pelvis. So coming through to the tucking the tailbone under makes your back flat. Coming back the other way arches your back. We want to be middle of those 2 points so we've got a nice shallow curve in our lower back. And then roll the shoulders back down away from the ears and in towards the lower back. Keeping the knees soft and engage your pelvic floor. So we're squeezing back and front passage, drawing that up into the belly. And then take a deep breath in. So you need this breathing, okay? Whatever you do through lockdown, just take 5 minutes out, do some breathing, a little bit similar to what we do in Pilates. So breathing in through the nose, feel your ribs expand there. Exhale, let the ribs close back down. So lateral breathing for Pilates so that the rib cage flares out towards your elbows as you inhale, and as you exhale, the ribs close back down. Let's bring some movement into that. So we're breathing in, still with your pelvic floor activated, keeping the eyes forward, elongating your neck, a little bit of a tuck in with the chin, so that you've got a nice long line through the spine, all the way to the crown of the head. And from now on in, we're using our breathing to dictate the speed of the move. So just keeping a basic mat work class today, so that you can choose the level that you want to work at. Go back to basics if you need to. Inhale up and exhale down. If you're working from home, just be aware of any injuries you might have. We're all good here, aren't we, guys? All in one piece. Good. Inhale and exhale. So by the end of this, I want you to feel like you've done some work, but feel calm in your mind at the same time. So inhale up, exhale down. So we're just using that breathing to control the speed. Use your whole in breath to come up. As you exhale, let the heels touch lightly down on the mat. We don't take all our weight down. We're using the pelvic floor to stabilise. Last one, inhale up. Good, exhale, lower down. Now at the bottom, just take a little bit of a more of a bend in the knee, engage your belt muscle, reach the arms up, and then sweep back. So just a little bit of mobility through the hips, the knees, the ankles, and then dropping the shoulders down. So each time we're resetting that neutral pelvis and lengthening through to the head. Nice. Feel the shoulders slide down. as if you're creating a soft V shape in your upper back. Good. If you struggle in your back, make this a little bit more shallow. Try not to let your head swing down, so we're just keeping the eyes up or forward. Last one. And into a slow arm circle, so we're breathing out. Now if you're struggling with shoulder or neck tension, you can change this to just circling the shoulders. Good. Inhale at the bottom, exhale at the top, and reach right back behind you. Good. Inhale. And exhale. We've still got our pelvic floor or our belt muscles switched on. So whichever of those you feel better with. Scraping back as far as you can manage. Now change direction. Inhale. And then exhale as you come over the top. And try to keep that shoulder position so your shoulders are back and down. Good. Using our breath in and out. Let's come over one more time. So we're just going to keep this really basic today. Stretch the arms out diagonally as you exhale, and then inhale to come. And the tendency is to lean. Try to think about keeping that long line right from the floor up through to the crown of the head. So you are working with the arms and not allowing any change in the body. Pelvic floor engaged. So you can stay here with both feet down, or you can come up into a balance. So try that if you want to. And then those of you that have been coming a long time, we're going to move the leg just to challenge that balance a little bit more. If you have a wobbly moment, absolutely fine to keep your feet down. Close the door. Good. How are we doing with that? So we're trying to keep the hips level while we're working with the arms and the legs. Good. And then change the arm pattern, but lift the other leg in balance. So inhale up, exhale down. Option to add in the movement with the legs as well if you want to, or just keep it with a balance, or both feet down. Good. You never know, we might be lucky. It might just stop raining at the beginning of lockdown. Lockdown brought us good weather last time. I know it's November, but you know, we can only hope, right? Positives. Okay, last one. Bring the legs down. Okay, now extend the arms forward and stretch the leg behind. So our mission here is to maintain that neutral position as you lean forward. Extend the arms. You'll feel a bit of a squeeze in the glutes, the bottom. We're using our pelvic floor to keep us stable, but we're not lifting that leg too high. So not allowing the arch in our back to increase. One more. Exhale, lengthen. Okay, now open up the arms. Bring the right arm across. Bring the left arm across. Try to keep the hips forward. Now both arms forward. Exhale. Inhale. Do it again. Exhale. And open. Good. Let's go again. Right to left. So we're just reaching across. Shoulder stretch. Hips stay forward. Looks good in the rim. Out breath. Hope you're doing okay at home if you're catching up. Exhale. This is me now. This is my life. I'm like literally talking to a screen all the time. I used to get fed up with my YouTuber son for constantly vlogging around the house, and now my husband says the same of me. It's like, I find myself answering you and then realising you're talking to the screen. Good, open out, let's do that again. So exhale, inhale, other side, exhale, inhale. Both arms come forward. Open up, good, forward again. Now this time reach the arm up over the top, so big stretch. Try to keep that in line, just go as far as you can without overstretching. Good, now take a slow roll down, but just halfway, chin to chest, just to the knees. Good, then come back up again. Now some of you will feel that that's just enough for you. So if you want to just go down to the knees, That's cool. We're going to do that again, literally changing it to just to knees, and then we're going to add the full range if you want to. So chin to chest, half range, and just roll the top part of your spine down, and then open up and roll the shoulders. Now with your mat in front of you, we're going to take it into a roll down. Okay, so I'm going to my temporary mat. Okay. I didn't like my knees anyway, didn't need those. Okay, so feet hip distance. Let's start with a roll down, so chin to chest. Now when we do this, we're keeping our belt switched on. If you struggle in your back, you can place some weight through the hands just for a bit more support. Go as low as you feel you can, and then slowly come up. The head is the last bit to stack on top of the spine. So think about each vertebra from bottom to top, stacking one above the other, rolling the shoulders back, and then come back down again. Keep that going. Okay, just see how that feels in your back as well. As you're coming down, make sure you're aware of any tight spots. Just be careful of those. You're going to get extra knee support. Blue coat's towel. Knew it would come in handy. Oh, that's okay. Yeah. Chin to chest. Slowly come on down one more time. Just the roll down. So just allowing our spine to mobilise. Just as low as you feel you can go without overstretching in the backs of the legs. Rolling the shoulders back. And we're going to take this into our push-up move. So, belt muscle switched on. Keep the knees soft. Come down this time as low as you feel you can go. And then when you're ready, walk the hands forward. And then you decide whether you come onto the knees for the push-up or whether you take it onto toes. So it's inhale your whole breath down and exhale your whole breath up. And then just be aware of your neck position while you do this, as well as your back position. So nothing changes. Inhale down, shoulders away from ears, zipping up in that belt muscle, and keeping your neck in line, but aiming anywhere between 4 and 6 repetitions. And then you're going to walk the hands back to the knees, lift your knees off, and slowly come up. Each vertebra one at a time. So I'm going to watch you guys do that now. So slowly come down, and as you do that, try not to at the bottom push back. There's a side view on line. Walk the hands forward. You can drop onto the knees, take the hands wide. So we're starting with wide push-up, shoulders back, breathe in to slowly come down, and then exhale to slowly come up. Nothing changes in your spine. This is working through the chest, the arms, the shoulders, and you're using your core to stabilise while you work. So if you haven't done Pilates before and you're catching up with this online, let's see if you can do an actual push-up. Not this, good, but this. And really feel the slowness building up the intensity. Then walk the hands back, keep the knees soft, and slowly come up. Then we're just going to slightly change the emphasis on that press up this time and bring it into the backs and the arms. So this time, same thing. And you will most certainly need to be on your knees for this one, guys. Walk your hands forward, drop down onto your mat, and this time hands are underneath the shoulders. This time your elbows push backwards, not out, and you're working the backs of the arms. Inhale down, exhale up. No bingo wings in this class. Okay, now if you struggle with this and you need to make it less intense, you can come into a box position. Okay, or you can bring the elbows down to the ground and up. So aim for 4, you might find that's enough for you today. Think about the neck position still, and then walk the hands back. And we're rolling back up to the top. This is good for spine mobility and to give your hands, your wrists a little bit of a recovery moment. Roll the shoulders back, slow on down. If it's too much for you to keep coming down and up, absolutely fine to just sit yourself back in a child's pose instead of rolling up and rolling down. So let's come back down again. Hands underneath the shoulders, tricep push-up. So inhale down, exhale up. Now if you let your elbows go out wide, you're not going to get the benefit in the back of the arm. So really try to think about keeping the arms closed and drawing the elbows back. And you will so feel the difference. Yeah, there you go. This is where you wish you weren't on camera, right, Sonia?
I'm not leading by example.
Okay, we're going to do one more set, and this time we are going to, here come the moans. At least you can't moan at me if you're online. Roll the shoulders back. You can, I'll get all the comments instead. Yeah, do-do-do-do. So we're going to take a wide and narrow alternating push-up this time. This is our last round, so let's try again. Chin to chest. I'm just setting you up for lockdown, just in case you don't do another exercise class in the next month. You are going to get the benefit of this class. Inhale down. And exhale up. Then walk your hands in, do a tricep push-up. Feel the difference between the elbow line. Exhale, come back up, and then go wide again to work into the chest and the shoulders. Remember, your chest is coming down between the thumbs here. And then elbows come back. And then this time I'm going to sit back in our child's pose. So you could do 4 to 6 of those, depending on how hard you want to work. Sit yourself back into that child's pose. Nice. Excellent. Fantastic. Okay, let's have a rest from the wrists. As you come up, just do a little bit of wrist release. You can try and do that. I can't do it both directions. I get all like awkward when I try and do it the other way around. I'm like, yeah, that's cool, can do that all day. Try and do it the other way around. Like, can you not? Yeah, you can. There you go. Doesn't feel like you are. No, I know. I think now I've got it. I'm there. Cracked it. Okay, let's take it into plank. So we're going to come up. I'm going to offer you 2 options here. You can stay static, or you can do our pike plank. So let's get a bit of elbow cushioning going on here. God, talk about amateur. No flipping mat. Right. Level 1 is on the knees, okay? So this is for the benefit of the camera side position, shoulders back and down. You guys know how to do the plank with me here, so come on down. Level 1 is here. Level 2 is up onto the toes and draw the shoulders back. Keep the hands soft here. Now you can stay there, or you can add in the pike plank. So we push bottom up into a down dog, but it's on the elbows, and then come back down. Keep those abs braced. Good, go back up again. So when you come back down into your plank, we need to get back into that plank position. Your head is not up, but not hanging down. So your crown of your head come in front of the rib with me. Eyes down. And so your head should be in line with your spine. You're pulling your lower abs in. And if you find this too heavy on the shoulders, just stay with plank. So you could just do a little bit. Drop down for a rest if you need to. Good stuff. Anytime you get to your point where you know you're fatiguing or losing your form, stop, rest, recover. Okay, last one here. Good, and then come back to the plank, bring the knees in, and sit yourself back on the heels, release. So we'll come back to that a bit later. For now, we're going to flip over onto our back and go for the 100. So I'm going to just bring myself around in the diagonal. No one needs to see that view on camera. You have to think about these things, you know. I was at the beginning when I was like filming different classes. I think I walked away from the camera sometimes, bent down to pick something up. I was like, right, I'm not doing that again. Okay, so let's lie down. Find your neutral pelvis, and we do that by doing exactly the same setup as we did at the beginning. So just tilting the pelvis forward and backwards. Find your neutral position. So that's with a small hollow in your lower back. Then engage your belt muscles, stretch your arms down. Okay, so in the room, you guys, you're working with a level 1, 2, or 3. So level 1, just picking up one leg, you could extend it, but most of you guys have moved on from there, who are with me now. So coming up with both legs at 90 degrees. Once you're here, start to beat the arms, breathing in through the nose and breathing out through the mouth. And some of you are beyond that to work for level 3, whether it's one or both legs extended. So whatever work level you are at, double check you've got that belt muscle switched on, you've got that small hollow in your lower back, and you're coping with that. Breathing in through the nose, ribs expand. Breathing out through the mouth, ribs close back in. And focus on zipping up here, so in the belt muscles, so that you've got that neutral position. And even if you're a strong person, you haven't done Pilates before, still think about taking it down so that you really are tuning into those core muscles, because if you're naturally strong, you will go into working the superficial muscles if your core is not strong enough to cope with this, and then it negates the need to do Pilates. So when you're ready, guys, we've done 10 breaths, which is 100 hand beats, and then bringing your knees back in, and then exhaling to lower the legs down. And we're going to bring the knees into the chest and just release that back. Fantastic. So when you're ready, just bring the legs down one at a time again. Okay, we're going to take it into knee drops. Now if you're at home, you're struggling with your back, you guys I think are okay in my room here. You could do this with the toes on the floor. So you bring your feet closer to the bottom, knees and feet together, and just use it as a bit of a mobility and pelvis release here. Okay, but if you want to work a bit stronger, neutral pelvis again, belt muscle switched on, lift the legs. We have our knees and our feet together. So it's an out breath as you go to the side, and then you can come straight back, or you can extend the legs. So those of you that have been working with me for a long time now, take the legs to the side. One or both legs can extend and bend, and then come back. If you haven't done Pilates for a while, just keep the legs bent. Take the legs as far as you can to the side before the shoulder on the opposite side lifts. So breathe out to go to the side. Think about that belt muscle connection, drawing the knees back into the center, and then breathing out to go the other way. So it's inhale back to center and exhale to the other side. So great core strength, back strength, and integrating oblique training. A good functional move to get the muscles in your rotational plane stronger. Good, so try and keep the knees and the feet together. As once your legs are over to the side, you can either bring them straight back or hold, extend and bend. So separate out the movement and then inhale to come back to center. Good. If you don't want the double leg extension, you can cut that down to one leg, top leg can extend. Bottom leg stays bent, and we're just using that abdominal brace to stabilise, keeping the muscles under tension for a bit longer. Brilliant. So let's do one more each way. Just make sure you're not moving your head or lifting the shoulders away from the mat. Good job. And then when you finish in the centre this time. Bring the knees in, get a good back stretch. And then open up the arms again. This time bringing the knees all the way over. Take your hand onto the top leg and just ease it in. Just increase that stretch through the back. And just take a couple of deep breaths. Try and relax the upper body. Just enjoy that stretch. And then come back to centre. Over to the other side. Sorry, mic interference. And then same on this side. Just notice if you've got any differences from one side to the other, that's quite normal. Deep breaths in. Good stuff. Okay, so we're going to take it into a double or single leg stretch next. So creeping up the levels depending on where you want to work. Sorry about my microphone. Okay, so feet on the floor, find that neutral pelvis. And I'm going to take it off for a moment, leave it there. Okay, so when you're ready, coming up like you did to the 100, so coming up with one leg at a time. And if you are an intermediate level, take the hands to the knees, extend one leg and stretch the arms over. You can leave out the arms, so if you struggle in your shoulders, absolutely fine. We're extending the leg and then bending, but you need to make sure you're coming back with the knee above the hip and not bringing the knee into the chest and losing your neutral line in your spine. So as you extend the leg, you'll feel the core working harder to stabilise the pelvis. Now, some of you will actually work with a double leg stretch here, so my advanced level, you can stretch both legs. And the height of the leg will change the challenge. So if you are just an intermediate level, it's good to just keep that leg a little bit higher to begin with. Just checking you out in the room here. So as you come back, the leg position needs to be with that 90-degree angle, keeping the feet up in line to your knees as if I'm going to balance a glass of water on your shins. Good. So breathing out as you extend the leg, breathing in as you come back. Fantastic. So if you've begun with a double leg stretch, of course you can take it back to single leg. Good, guys. So finish your last one. Good. Bring in the legs back. And again, if you want to just hug those knees in. Good, okay. Now whether you want to roll onto your side or hook round one leg and roll up to sitting, we're going to go into a roll up. This will be comfortable on my towel. You okay so far? Have a drink if you want one. Mind you, I'm saying that. Wait until I start rolling. That'll be nice too, won't it? God.
Keep smiling for the camera.
Keep smiling. Keep smiling. Okay. So, roll up. If you're a beginner, we're taking this part range, and anyone that needs to modify this for part range, that's fine. You can keep your legs straight, or you can keep your legs bent, you choose. So I'm going to tuck the tailbone under, slowly lower yourself down to the ground, with each vertebra coming down one at a time, and then inhale at the end, exhale, lift the arms, chin to chest, pelvic floor switches on, roll slowly up, take yourself up into neutral. Now if you haven't done Pilates before, of course you're not going to go straight down to the mat. And if you struggle in your back for any reason, this is fine to go with a part range. So you inhale as far back as you want to go, and exhale to come up, and then add in your spine stretch. So these are modifications if you need them. Shoulders are back and down, tuck the tailbone under. Good, so we go back with a nice C-shaped spine, lowering each vertebra down one at a time. Let the arms rest behind you, then inhale, bring the arms up, look through the window, keep that chin in towards the chest and slowly come up. Good, so for the camera, we are tucking under and coming back C-shape. We're not coming back here, which will put massive strain on your hip flexors, your quads, so you're literally rolling yourself down. Nice, Pam. Really good. Roll back down. So feeling the abdominals working, pelvic floor activated. If you start to get some fatigue kicking in and you can feel yourself using momentum, think about changing the range. Changing the range so that you only go part way back. So just recognise when your body is like done and know you need to modify. Nice spine stretch at the end. We're going to come back to a modification of this or a variation of this later. Nice job, guys. So when you come back up, you do not want your feet to lift off the ground. You don't want to use speed or momentum. It's about lowering down. Let's make this our last one. So rolling down. Good, and then breathing out to lift. Chin to chest. Slowly rolling up. Extend, stretch, and then we go into soar. Okay, so sitting with your legs just a little bit wider than shoulders. Okay, now if you're, well, whether you're at home or here, you could modify this to come onto the knees, so if you've got some protection for your knees. If you feel when you sit back here that you're literally struggling to get yourself up, you need to be on the sit bones, fleshy part of the bottom away, and feel okay to do that. Okay, so we're going to breathe out. I will show you modifications in a minute. So,
If I do that, I can like that.
oh, do you? Okay, yeah, so you can breathe out, then reach up and take the opposite hand over to the opposite foot. Now this is the saw, but I'm going to show you some modifications if you're struggling. So when you reach over, we're not aiming to touch the toe, we're looking to reach up and over, so you get the stretch here, quadratus lumborum, that's a mouthful. So it's the outside of your back that you're stretching. So keep the sit bones grounded. Imagine that bucket of water, your pelvis, and keep the rim of the bucket on the floor. Don't allow the bucket to tip as you stretch. Okay, now if you're struggling with this, you're sitting there, your hip flexors are screaming at you, come up to kneeling, or if you're at home, you could do this on a chair, and just take out the stretch and do a spine twist, or you can do a spine stretch, a spine twist, and then a side bend stretch. So you can, it will be slightly different muscle recruitment, but here is an option if you're struggling there. Other way around it is to sit on a yoga block, a cushion. We want to keep our hips forward when we're up on our knees. We're not allowing the whole body to twist. So we're getting the thoracic spine mobilized. Another good functional move, because let's face it, it's not when you're doing exercise mostly that you hurt your back, it's when you twist, pick up a box in the wrong way, get something, it's always when you're not thinking. So by conditioning your muscles in different planes, and this rotational plane is really, really important for you to become more conditioned, and then functional fitness is there. So let's just do one more each side. Fantastic. Okay. All good online? Should we have a little stretch here as well? Quite nice. So keeping the legs here, bend your right leg, heel in towards the groin, sit up nice and tall. Take your left hand over your right knee, reach up your right arm and take a nice stretch over the top. So you can feel that all through that side, outside of the back. Just take it to where your body feels. Try not to resist against it. Just let it go. Come back to centre. Good stuff. And then change sides. So that spine twist is a really good one to do. If you are going to be working from home, I think sometimes if you work from home, you tend to sit there for longer, and you take less breaks, I think, than if you're actually in an office and someone chats to you, or you go to the loo, or you go and get coffee. Not that I've worked in an office for a very long time now, but at home, people do tend to sort of sit there and get really absorbed. So just sitting on your chair, even if you haven't got time to move, just doing that spine rotation will do you wonders for just back strength and back health. Right, I'm going to attempt some rolling back now. Are you ready for this, guys? I might not have my spine left at the end.
Don't grimace.
What was that?
Like to grimace.
No. So, oh my goodness. If rolling back is not your thing, okay, so there might be some people in the room that don't want to do it today, you can lay down, do some pelvic tilts instead, or you could come onto all fours and do a cat-cow stretch. So just use those as different mobilising techniques, okay? But those of you that are in the room and you enjoy rolling back, we're coming into balance, okay? Try not to grip tightly onto your legs. Just make sure my microphone's out of the way. Tuck the tailbone under. Roll back. Oh my gosh. And come up. I don't recommend you do this on a hard floor with a towel. You need a nice mat. I'm going to do it one more time, and then I'm leaving it over to you, Tanya and Pauline, because you're on camera. Yeah. So it's really important that you start the move, you initiate it with a pelvic tilt, lovely Pam, and you don't let momentum take over. And you're only rolling as far as your shoulder blades, not onto your neck. So the minute momentum takes over, you'll get that speed, you'll end up going over, your legs go over your head. We are just, it all goes Pete Tong, it's not an attractive look. Yeah. And more importantly, it's going to knacker your neck, basically. So let's just keep it to shoulder blades. Tuck the tailbone under, maintain that C shape in your spine to roll. And what we're doing is we're just stretching out the spine with the weight of your body and that stretch that we're in before we begin. And just creating some more space between the vertebrae. So let's change our position again, come onto our side. So sideline position, just restructure my mat. So definitely you need a nice thick mat for Pilates, and the yoga mats aren't really thick enough unless you're on a slightly more carpeted surface. Yeah, double up, that's it, that's another idea. So we're stretching along and we are lengthening our body. So I want you to just firstly look at your mat and think about a straight line on that mat and place your shoulders, hips, knees and ankles on that line, and then stack them. So you've got your shoulders stacked, knees, hips and everything there. Okay, some of you will need to use a yoga block if you struggle with shoulder tension, neck tension. You can bring your hand in front and rest on the yoga block with your head, otherwise arm is in line with your shoulder. A little bit of help with the hand in front. Top leg is going to lift, bottom leg comes up to meet it. We've got our pelvic floor activated here before you lift, and you're in balance. Okay, some of you will be able to take the hand away, try taking it up to the top, so you're not going to use the shoulder to counteract the move. Okay, if you're feeling wobbly today, you need that extra and hold it there. Let's go into side kick, guys. So we're breathing out, bringing the top leg forward on your exhale, breathing in, coming back. Keeping the leg straight, now break it behind, out breath, in breath back to centre. Good, let's go again. Out breath forward, in breath back to centre, out breath. Now have a quick check down your body, make sure you can see your toes. Okay, so we don't want our leg to move backwards, that's going to be likely taking us out of our neutral alignment. So your toes, always visible on that bottom leg. Out breath forward, in breath back to centre, out breath behind. So the movement of the leg challenging your core to keep you in that balance. Good, now you can just keep it basic and keep the legs straight. Or we can get a little bit more movement and work in the outer thigh by creating a semicircle. So we come forward, circle the leg over the top, bring it back to the beginning, then take it behind. So reverse that semicircle. Take it behind, come over the top, take it behind again. Now you're keeping the pelvic floor switched on. If you can feel yourself wobbling around, just make the leg movement more small. And you might need to just reset. Good stuff. Out there, take it behind. Come over. Really lengthen that lower leg and that lower arm. Forward on your out breath. Take it over the top. You can take out the semicircle and just move it straight forward back. Good, take it back. Come over the top. And take it back again. Good. Forward. And over. Nice. Let's just do one more. If you've had enough, absolutely fine to bring the legs back together. And just rest your legs down. And then when you finish your last semicircle, make sure you've done one in each direction. Let the legs rest down, bring the knees into the chest. We're going to stay in this position on this side and do our side raise. Okay. So lying down and stretching back out. This time I'm going to use my belt muscle. Okay, so if you struggle in your lower back, you could just keep this as a single leg raise. So I'm just going to work my way up. Into balance, guys, belt muscle switched on, that stacked position, you've just set it up. So level 1 would be just the top leg lifting and lowering down. With your breathing again, okay, level 2 is both legs lifting and lowering, but keeping them in line with your spine. Imagine someone is pulling your legs away from your hips. Good. Next level up is to add in the upper body and slowly come down. Good, so out breath. And some of you who've been working with me for a long time, you can add in that movement of the arm coming over and slowly lowering down. So there's no holding here, no pausing, it's just continuous movement. So breathe out as you lift. Breathe in as you lower. Whether you're working with just the leg, both legs, or upper body and lower body. Fantastic. It's looking good here. So as you're lifting, you're aiming to stay on that hip. If you struggle on the hip, maybe just a little bit of extra padding under the hip will help you. But we want to avoid coming back onto the bottom as we lift those legs. Good, so we're working outer thigh if you've just got the lower body working, inner thigh on the bottom leg, and then into obliques as well if you're lifting upper and lower body. Fantastic. Okay, let the legs rest down, bring the knees into the chest. Good stuff. Okay, let's just go on to the other side. So you guys in the room can just roll over. If you're on screen, you might want to just switch ends. Do you want that back end?
Yeah.
I don't really want to smile for the camera. Nobody needs to see that at whatever time of day it's like.
Wise move. Okay, so set your position up. It's quite normal to have one side easier to do than the other. So if you're a bit more wobbly and you need that hand, have it here. Try, if you've got the hand in front, not to let the shoulder drop forward. We want to keep that stacked position. So pelvic floor switched on, up into balance. The side kick first, so you're breathing out to come forward, breathing in to come back. Okay, so those of you, whether you're in the room now or online, if you've got the hand in front and you can feel yourself really pushing into that hand, make your leg movements smaller. We want to focus on the pelvic floor stabilising us, but you can have this extra little stabiliser if you need it. Breathe out. Breathe in. Good. And if you are following online and you are so confused, you'll be right in thinking that there is a lot to learn in Pilates and a lot to put together all in one go, right guys?
Yeah.
Yeah. Takes a long time to master everything and get used to the breathing and get used to the movements. And this is why at Blue Coats we offer our beginners courses to really give you that more in-depth training before you just go into our next level classes. And we have done that since we very first introduced Pilates. Successfully, I'd like to point out. Come forward and do a semicircle if you want to increase the work in your outer thigh. At the same time, you're challenging your core more, that extra movement. So try and keep that stacked position, lengthen. Good. It's not compulsory, the semicircle. You can go back to just your forward and back if you want to. It's looking good in the room. Tom's going to spend the next month scrolling Facebook looking for herself on a class. It's your 15 minutes of fame times 4.
It's my dread. It's going to deny it to me.
You have to get over yourself when you go online, you know. Like I never like pictures of myself. I never like the sound of my voice. I've just had to get over all of that and just get on with it. Really stretching that arm long. Okay, let's finish one more. Finish with the legs down. Bring the knees into the chest.
The good thing is you're good at what you're doing.
Not when there's a towel involved instead of a mat. Not. All right, let's go back out. Belt muscle switched on this time. Just double check down the front of the body. You can just see your toes. Hand in front if you need it, but without the top shoulder dropping forward. So we are going into side raise. So it's out breath, just the legs. It could be just the top leg if you want to. Okay. If we want to go up to top level, we are extending upper body and lower body. Good. Breathing out, breathing in. Good. Really extending through the legs. Imagine somebody pulling your head and your feet and stretching you out. Just what I need. Lovely. That's good in the room. Just be careful not to roll back onto that bottom as you are lifting. And if you're working with your upper body as well, think about your neck position and try and think about keeping that neck in line with the rest of the spine, so you're not letting the ear lift into the top shoulder, but think about the crown of the head stretching to the other side of the room. Great. 2 more if you can. If you get wobbly, remember you've got that hand in front. Good. Last one, bring the knees in. Relax. And we'll take it into swimming on all 4s. So if you just bring yourself over onto hands and knees. So hands are underneath the shoulders, knees are under the hips. And if you struggle on your hands, your wrists, I'll give you some modifications in a second. But for now, just tilt the pelvis forward and backwards. Find that neutral position. Just going to get my butt out of the camera view. Yeah, it's like full blackout. Okay, so level 1 would be just to move the legs if you haven't done Pilates before. Level 2 is to add in the opposite arm. And level 3, we're adding in a double rep. So it's out breath, extend, in breath, come back. You can do one per side, or if you've been working with me for longer, you can go with a double rep. Let's just set that music up again. Okay, so what I want you to imagine is that you have got your best champagne that you're saving for the end of lockdown.
That's gorgeous.
It's already drunk. Okay, you've got that balanced on your lower back. Full champagne, glasses, the lot, balanced on your back. So as you're extending, you're not allowing your back to change. You're using your belt muscle drawing navel to spine. And that's keeping you in neutral. And if you're feeling like you're wobbling, make sure you've got those knees hip distance. So a little bit more space between the knees. Good. So double reps would be extending, bending, extending, and then come back down. Good. Out breath. I can't believe we've already got to the end of our class. I can't believe that. Brilliant. I had at least 2 more that I wanted to do with you guys. Good. Brilliant. Okay, here's the deal. We're going into lockdown. We're not going to be doing this for another like 4 to 6 weeks. So would you like one more exercise? And if so, laying down or sitting down, what would you like to do? Lie down. Okay, shoulder bridge, let's do that. This will look good on camera, won't it, Tanya? Okay, so we're doing mobility move. Okay, now I'm going to show you top level, but talk to you. I'm going to throw it out to you guys that want to just work at a beginner level and mobilise the spine. So, feet hip distance, bring them closer to the bottom. Neutral pelvis, and we've got pelvic floor switched on. The first stage is to tuck the tailbone under, peel the spine off the floor, come into a bridge. And if you just want to keep low level today, you can float the arms over the head, bring it back down, microphone belt sliding down the back with me. Let's put that back there. Okay, so you could just do this version, but on the second time that hands come over, you're going to slowly bring your back down, tucking the tailbone under so you really roll the spine down. Those of you that want to come with me and work the legs, we're going to do that now. So come on down, feet hip distance and closer to the bottom. So you can carry on with that version if you want to, otherwise come up. You choose whether you take the arms behind or keep them down. Right leg is going to lift up. We're going to exhale, lower the leg down on your out breath, and then come up. Then you're going to take the leg out to the side. So out breath out to the side, and try and keep your pelvis stable with that pelvic floor connection. Good. So use your breathing out to the side, alternating. And if you've got your hands behind you, you're going to really struggle to maintain that neutral pelvis. So you're going to need to make sure your core is strong. Out to the side, back to centre, and then switch legs. So try and keep the hips level, keep the leg long. So it's out breath, flex foot, point down, come down. Inhale, point toe, come up. Take it out to the side, exhale. You could leave out that side movement and just work with the forward and back plane, so coming down and up. Do 6 in total legs, alternating between coming down and out to the side. Or you are keeping the feet down and just working with the arms instead. Slowly this time, each vertebra comes down one at a time. And if you want to make that a little bit longer, you could add in more sets. But for now, we're going to stop by bringing the knees into the chest, hugging the knees. I think we've done a good old repertoire this morning, so hugging the knees into the chest. Just bring the feet onto the floor with the legs bent again. Let the head move from side to side. releasing through the neck. Let the head settle in the middle, feet and knees together, and just let the knees move from side to side, keeping the feet on the floor. Good. When you're ready, rolling over onto your right side, pushing yourself up to sitting. And there we have it. Our final class before lockdown. Thank you very much everybody in the room. Thank you online if you're catching up. Everybody stay safe, stay well. We will be here when you come back to fix you. And you can carry on online. How funny will that be when you can just catch up with this sometime over lockdown? Thank you guys for catching up. I'm just going to switch this off, say goodbye to everyone in the room.